Hello YouTube, this is Agent here bringing another Wargame European Escalation Commentary. This is actually a pretty big change up to what you're probably used to on this channel, because for once the Warsaw Pact, I'm not playing them. I am playing NATO with King of War, my ally. Here, I'm here. And yes, so this is a 2v2 destruction on the map Summer Night. Quite an interesting map. It's quite concentrated because of the rivers. It means that bridgeheads like these can become quite intense battlegrounds. Artillery often plays a major role in here, especially trying to hunt down the CV at Bravo. If you can if you can deny the enemy their Bravo or Gulf section, you can usually get a good points advantage, and when it comes to artillery, a points advantage is generally everything. Once again, I'd like to apologise for the what happened in the last Wargame video. A combination of fraps and a glitch in the Wargame replay meant it wasn't as good as planned, but there you go. I hope you got the gist of the game. So yes, this is one of my first NATO games. I very rarely play NATO, but with all the points I've got playing in Pact, I've unlocked everything. So yes, so I'll just take you through what I like to use in NATO. For my anti-air defense, I pretty much only use the M4A8A1 Chaparral. It's a very nice anti-aircraft missile, similar to the Buck for Warsaw Pact. It's got a 4,200 meter range. It's only got an accuracy 4, but and because Warsaw Pact helicopters have more health, it doesn't one-shot them like the Buck generally does in NATO helicopters. But it's very good. Because it's the only AA unit I use, I always vet them to the max whenever possible, because generally a Chaparral will run out of missiles before it hits anything when you're playing normally. So what else? I'm using a combination of the Irk 90 Sagen, French armored recon. I quite like French stuff. That it's usually very fast. As you can see, 95 kilometers an hour. Its gun's probably okay, not that bad, but there you go. And so I use a combination of that and the M3 Bradley CFV for recon, similar to Warsaw Pact, where I use PT-71 and the BRDM for firepower and speed. I use this here. Obviously, spending a bit more on this, but I get a lot more speed and a lot more power. Also using a Gazelle reconnaissance helicopter to have a look what's going on. These are very nice helicopters, very fast. Everything I look for in a recon helicopter, basically. I don't know, I don't usually like armament for recon helicopters, because you shouldn't be having them in firing range anyway. You should be treasuring them. Unfortunately, not what I do here. As you can see, there's enemies dug in with Igla infantry. These are very good AA infantry. I tend to not use them myself, because I guess use Tunguskos for AA defense. I like something a bit robust. But as you can see here, the Iglas are definitely a good thing, just smacking down the Gazelle. Just like that. I swear, here we've got a fairly big attack with BTR-70 Zalos. These are tank destroyer prototypes. They don't have a machine gun, but they have a very nasty gun that has a decent amount of high explosive damage, so it does damage to pretty much all types of units apart from helicopters. But yeah, so they've got the BTR-70 Zalo tank destroyers, quite a lot of them. It looks like they filled their total amount. Clearly a lot of coordination between these players, maybe they're used to playing each other. And a lot of 80 game equipped infantry, Tunguskos, and the Su-122-54. So let's have a look at this. This is something I don't use that much, so it's pretty much only 15 points, so it's pretty cheap. And it looks like it's pretty much a big gun. So yes, so let's see. So I moved my quick recon and Milan 80 game Milan F2. I quite like the 80 game Milan F2. Let's have a look at that. It's got pretty good AP power of 15, fairly good accuracy and range. It's a decent 80 game. As you can see here, I'm using the VAB transports to sort of lure them out of the way. They're being torn apart by the BTR-70 Zalos and this, but the Milans are fine. Also, the Recon's getting a few shots in, but there's a lot of firepower here. Look at that rain of 80 GMs. They really didn't stand a chance, but the Milan are quite safe. They have a lot of anti-tank power, not a lot of infantry power. Over here, I've moved my recon up. Got my mortars here. My ally King of War is diverting his forces to counter this swarm of units around Delta. I move my command armor into place using the calendars. Mostly I don't know, most people wouldn't recommend using NATO heavy tanks because AT games are so powerful at the moment and they don't have any. So they can get torn up pretty quickly by very cheap units, but I don't know, I always like the calendar. Maybe it's because I'm British, but anyway. But yeah, look at it, it's got a very good range, good accuracy, good anti-tank power. It's got a good amount of ammunition. It's got super armor. I don't think there's anything else in the game that can take the kind of punishment a calendar can, but... So over here, I've brought in some Hemet supply trucks to deal with the BTR-70s. And that's the problem, they ran out of ammo, so the BTR-70s managed to quickly get in a range. Over here, brought a few Cobras up, but the Tunguskas are on the other side now, and I'm feeling the pain. Quickly back up my Cobra, because I know what these Tunguskas can do. They're not vetted though, not something I'd recommend. And some artillery is coming, let's have a look at their artillery. 8 Malkas and a couple of Smirches, a cub for a defense. At the moment we only have 2 paladins that I'm using, and as you can see the artillery is raining in. You see my Hemets are trying to fix my allies up wherever he can, but he's got some Abrams, Bradleys and AMX-32 main battling prototypes. Don't have an 80 games, let's have a look what they've got. They've got a pretty good gun, looks like. Good accuracy, good anti-tank power. So there you go, it's pretty much a very good gun tank. I'm sure it's been French, it's quite fast. 70, it's okay. And here comes the Smirch volley. This is probably going to panic them very much so. Yeah, these guys aren't going to be hitting anything with those. They've done a bit of damage to the BTR-70 Zalos, but look, that artillery's just wrecking them. They're firing wide. Although, I don't know, I wouldn't be rushing the Zalos in anytime soon. As you can see, I'm bringing up some more 80 game infantry. The last lot did a good amount before they died. Hopefully these guys will do the same. They're buying command vehicles. They spent a lot more points than us on the initial rush. I think we bought more command vehicles than we could realistically capture units. Up here I pushed my soldiers from us trying to take this village here. This usually buttons any attack. They'd think of an echo before they clear the village, because if they try and fast travel anything, they'll go straight there. But you see, the BTRs have spotted the soldiers, but the soldiers haven't spotted the BTRs. I can confirm this because I was playing as me. I couldn't see anything. All I saw was gunfire coming out of the trees. So these guys get whittled away to nothing. So that's why I keep my forces here. See, I've got he's got some Panzer Grenadiers. They're expensive, but there's not a land vehicle that can worry them when they've got ammo. Well, Spetsnaz, but that's a dedicated unit. So the Bradley and the Sagrins are keeping out good recon. I'm moving some more recon around the map because don't trust what's going on here. This bridge. A lot of people overlook this bridge, but it could be useful. And so I've got the calendars. So the idea was that when they move out here, the calendars get ripped into shreds. I'm also bringing some more recon just in case helicopters come in the side. Over here, they push forward with BMPs and their BTRs and Zalos, bringing the Tunguskas up to fire. What are they firing at? My Cobra at the back. Yep, my Cobra at the back. I retreated it, but they advanced. Oh, they hit something. Is there a helicopter there? Don't remember having a helicopter that close. Might have been a Gazelle. Oh no, there is. King of War's 8 Lynx 80 helicopters, tow missile equipped. I think they've got quite good range. 2,600, yeah, that's quite good, but Tunguska is 3,500. No chance. Let's see, so there's been a bit of an advance here. They've moved the BTRs up in front of the Puzus, Aglas, casing away the soldiers from us. Over here, some more Lynx soldiers sort of flying around. The VAB PC seems to be repositioning, maybe to try and get further into the woods to avoid artillery fire. Phantom soldiers, FAMAS is dead. I'm not sure why the UAZ is out in the field like that. They must have been a bit unsure about where it was going. And you see there's a lot of forces here, but they're all low on fuel. Without some supplies, they aren't going anywhere. They've got T-13s coming in. These are pretty much identical to the Coalises in pretty much any way, except they're flying the East German flag. Yeah, so they got machine guns, they can fire light units, 80 kilometers an hour speed. They'll get there fast. Then they've got the health to do it. To keep going. So I'd say they got some recon helicopters having a look at what we're doing, painting us for artillery. Tunguska's out in front because to defend against the ATGM helicopters, and the rest of the stuff probably reposition when it's got the fuel. Over here, I'm just letting my ally know he was flying these Lynxes around. I know they've got AA there. No, they've got AA there. Do they have AA here? Yes, they do. Okay, but yes, at the moment it's a pretty big artillery fight going on. My paladins, I'm sure, I was firing them all over the place. I think I'm planning to target this stuff. Yep, I knew they had a swarm of units round the back. I think this again spotted it. So I'm just going to rain the artillery fire and just try and, get a few keep kills and drain supplies. At the moment, Pact has a big advantage, 1,300 to 300, so they're a 1,000 point advantage, and I've got all the kills from my team so far. King of War hasn't killed anything yet. That's a bit worrying, seeing as all the Abrams and stuff he lost here. I don't think I've lost too much. I lost the Gazelle, that was quite bad, and my ATGM infantry, stuff like that. So yes, the artillery is raining down, so I'm trying to keep my stuff mobile. This is where NATO, of course, comes in to its advantage. NATO can usually cope quite well in maneuver warfare. They've got good stabilizers and don't rely too much on guns. I mean, ATGMs. Of course, I've got ATGM infantry, so that's not true. But the Saigant here, Tunguska seem to have moved up. I'm not sure what they were trying to hit, but the Saigant, it's only an armored recon, but its gun can do damage. AP4, but the Tunguskas aren't that well armored. 1-1, so they're good for AA units in terms of armor, but you don't want it to be engaged in them against even something as basic as this. That's why you bring in some T-72s for them. Clearly have a bit of money to spend, and they're throwing 4 tanks at this again. I retreat obviously, but the Balans will be able to take on the T-72s. They don't have these are only the basic one, so they've got a machine gun and a cannon, that's it. Saigant's retreated and firing on the move, but it keeps losing lines of sight. I've also turned the guns off, because I think you can spot a unit shooting at you a bit easier. So the ATGMs have opened fire, quickly netting a kill. T-72 basics aren't that well, they're 45, so... But the thing is, the T-72s have managed to advance quite a lot, so they can shoot back at the ATGMs. That's not ideal for me. One's already gone down. And artillery will undoubtedly be coming in. I've using my own to sort of scare away the Tunguska, and advancing the VABs to distract the T-72s. Unless they're being microed very well, they're going to be firing at that, whereas they should be firing at this. And yes, I think so. They're panicked. So the VABs aren't actually in that much of a danger, but oof, and there's another T-72 going. So could I get another kill into that? Boom. Yes, I can. Over here, the T-113s have refueled these guys here and are now pushing in. I've fired a few shells here and there that way. Over here, my allies got in some M150 tank destroyers with tow missiles. Not really that good, because in the tree line you can't see these guys until they're too close, and those BTR-70s will rip those tank destroyers to shreds with their powerful cannons. Again, bringing up some of this recon. I see these BTR-70s. At the moment I'm a bit worried here because my Chaparral's just sitting here. This is an expensive unit, fully vetted of course. It's worth 70 points to me. Don't want to lose that, especially as it will keep any helicopters away. Over here I've advanced another Chaparral up. Didn't manage to get as much veterancy on it because I wanted to respond quickly, but knocked down a helicopter. These things pretty much one shot. Warsaw Pact helicopters, when they're weak and stuff like that, the MI2 series usually quickly dies.